Ladies and gentlemen, Pimpmunk.
Good morning. Good morning. It's Tuesday. It is the 17th of November. We all know what year it is. We're never going to forget this year. We're going to tell our grandchildren about this year. Today, if I can get this shit to sit still, we have the beautiful, the handsome, the one-of-a-kind Marshall Manson.
Hello.
Yay.
Morning.
We also have a handsome wizard joining us in a few, but he is running a little late. So Nick will be here in a bit. And as always, I have the greatest, the original, the no one else like him on earth, Shabisky. He's with me.
Oh, I was muted. No one likes me on Earth, Missy.
Oh,
What?
He's the most beautiful being on earth.
Yeah, you're looking cute today, Marshall, but I don't like how you keep on copying me. Because I wear the beanie, bro. That's my thing.
I will fucking murder you.
And
I'm
Bowles
gonna
is here with us, guys.
take you to court for that beanie.
Okay.
Like a trademark dispute.
Sue him for beanie rights.
Oh, yeah.
Could be a thing.
Up here, if I call it a beanie, they're like, a what? A
What
toque.
do they call it?
Oh, they call them toques.
Tubes?
Toque, like T-O-O-K.
Toque?
Yeah.
Why is it a toque?
I don't know. And then I know some people in the South call them toboggans for some reason. And again, if you say this is a toboggan, you'll get looked at like you're fucking weird because that's a sleigh or a sled.
Yeah, that's a sled. There's one
Yeah.
hanging in my parents' garage.
Yeah. Which that one I get, but I don't understand the hatred for beanie because beanie sounds way better to me than toque.
I don't know what a toque is. I don't get that.
To
Sounds
me,
like
a
a
toque is a fucking dumb hobbit.
Hobbit.
To me, a
Yeah.
toque is you're just saying if it's T-O-O-K, you're just saying took wrong.
Took.
You just don't know how to talk English words. But it's Tuesday. I don't think anything exciting happened. I did see a weird story that I don't know if you guys know anything about. He's a YouTuber. His name is EDP445 or something like that. I don't know. But apparently he was caught having inappropriate conversations with a minor and then doubled down and said it was the minor's fault because she had her titties out.
I don't understand, like, first of all, none of us understand the thought process, but what I don't understand is the even further thought process of, yes, this is how I'm going to publicly justify this, as if people won't be like, what the fuck? People are so dumb.
I saw the video and I was like, this is ridiculous. Because at first the first thing he did was sexualize the fuck out of her. He was like, man, I saw this girl. She had these big ass titties just blinging, just bow, just do, and she little ass, little waist, skinny little thing, little skinny jeans, tight ass. That like really going on about how like hot she was and how sexually she was dressed. And then went on to say, then he found out she was like he went 15, 16, 17. Regardless, You're the adult blaming blaming the child for how she's dressed and saying that's the reason that you were inappropriate with her. It's disgusting.
How many subs does this person have?
Like 2 million.
Holy shit. Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm. It's gross. It's gross.
YouTube is there's always a current scandal. Somebody, it's just like people cannot just be chill for 5 minutes. They can't just have a channel and enjoy their life. They gotta do something.
Really weird. I'll never understand adults blaming children for the reason that they were fucked up adults.
I don't know.
Or even if she was, like, you're blaming a woman for how she's dressed is the reason that your actions were inappropriate.
Yeah. It's like some fucking Sharia law shit.
Like,
What happens if he walks by like a pool and there's a 12-year-old in a bikini? It's her fault.
Right. That's
She
what I'm
wasn't
saying.
supposed to be swimming in that bikini.
Right. It's so gross to me when adults do that. And it's a little...
If I was the judge, I'd give him extra years for that bullshit excuse. Like, yeah, well, 12 more years, bitch. Okay.
And just because you said that, like, it's just gross. It's just gross.
The sad part is, in all likelihood, even if he were to get charged, it probably would not get much time at all, because we don't punish sexual offenders very much. There are some. It seems like we only punish like cases where somebody's been mistakenly accused. Like, those people get fucked, but people who are like fucking. I've seen so many sexual predators go unarrested if they're arrested.
Or they get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, in no time. It's. I think the police should, at this point, just stop pretending they give a fuck about victims of sexual assault, because they don't.
Not
They don't
really.
care.
Is it weird that I think I hear myself? Oh wait, no, it went away.
I heard something too. I don't know what that was.
All right, I thought it was just me.
Thought it was maybe Nick joining us for a second. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. You should be here in a bit. But anyways, how you been, Marshall? How's life treating you up there in Canada's?
I've been working on stuff and having routine mental breakdowns. It's been a lot of fun. I got a new video coming out soon.
That's cool.
Hopefully, god damn it, because it's gonna take a while to edit together and shit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Still working on that. Still working on Hello Music. I have some fun stuff coming out with a certain YouTuber. I think I'm gonna release the first track later this week.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be. They fucking killed it. They really did. So I can't wait for everyone to hear it.
Oh, I'm excited.
Dude, I can't wait to see your collab with G-Man, dude. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
You know, G-Man challenged me to a rap battle once, and I was just like, "No, man, you're gonna win. I can't."
I can't.
That's so
Too
funny.
good. He's gonna make sure to go out in a park where it's all windy as hell, so he can record his rap.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best spot.
I saw the rap battle between him and Shani.
Oh
I saw a
God,
clip of that. That was.
I did.
It was
I didn't know
entertaining.
that was a thing.
It's a thing. It is a
What
thing.
kind of world are we living in?
A weird
What
one.
the fuck?
A really...
Was it live?
Yeah, they
Like,
were on a
they're-
stream. They were doing a live stream.
Oh God, I gotta see this. This is
I'll
gonna
find
be
the clip
cringe.
for you.
This is gonna be so cringe. Oh
Mhm.
my God.
It's from a while ago, because I think this was like before she was with Rev and like had gotten divorced from that Chris guy and moved in with her parents because her hair is really short and a different color. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm assuming it's from a couple years ago. But it's priceless. It is priceless.
Did you see that in the new DFF game that you actually fight G-Man in it, and after you beat him, it's like G-Man wins?
Really?
Yeah, it's so funny.
Really?
That's hilarious. I love it.
Yeah, I'm planning on playing that.
I saw it come out. I saw people fighting like a giant octopus in it, and I was like, this is wonderful.
Yeah. I watched Paul stream it the other day, and then when I heard my music in it, I had a fan girl scream. I was like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Yeah, Skeptical Jesus does such an amazing job with all of these games.
He's incredibly talented. He pays a lot of attention to detail. And you can also tell by the jokes that he puts in there that you can tell how long he's been around and paying attention to shit.
Oh, yeah.
He's been around for quite a while.
Like, he's so invested in it. It's just, I love it. I love it so much. I was so incredibly fucking honored to be added into the DP RPG. Like, I went and, like, I called my kids into the room and was, like, screaming. I was like, I'm in a video game! I called my sisters and I teased them. And then when he made the one about Shab, I was even like, oh my god, there's a whole video game about Shabisky!
That one sounds really funny. Aren't you trying to like beat the clock like you're gonna shit yourself or something?
Mm-hmm.
The Shab game, that's so funny. It's
Yeah,
hilarious.
bounce between shitting, eating, and
Sleep.
and you gotta sleep, and then you gotta make enough money every week to pay your bills,
Mm-hmm.
or you lose.
There's like a whole bunch of like little mini things going on at once. So it's actually like kind of hard.
And my cat's in it, and she starts out real small, and she gets fatter as the game goes.
That's one of my favorite parts is the fat kitty. And the pooping. The pooping is awesome.
He added it where you can go out and catch lizards and put them in the tank and stuff.
Mhm.
Like, it's crazy how much detail you put into making that. You know, you put a lot of work into it.
It just shows how awesome Skeptical Jesus is. So shout out to you, our very own Jesus.
Everyone in the chat was like, this is amazing, Jesus. And he's like, this is weird. I'm actually being supportive of Jesus and saying good things about it. Yo.
What's up, big balls?
Well, good morning.
I'm just slowly recovering.
Did you have a rough night?
Oh, no. Yesterday was like fucking insane. I go to sleep Sunday night. I like wake up sometime around like 10 or 11, I want to say. And I couldn't even keep water down. Yeah, yesterday was a difficult day. I was like super fatigued and like shaking. I tried to eat a bowl of soup, and it was just like, I had palsy or something going on, so that wasn't happening.
Oh my
Shit.
god.
And yeah, I ended up being like roughly about 2 days before I had like 2.5 days in between eating anything like of substance. So yeah, yesterday was just an in and out of consciousness day. Laid out in bed that lasted until 20 minutes ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
You poor
Got it.
fucking thing.
Oh,
Did you get like food poisoning?
I don't know. Could have been my neighbor from downstairs who I hang out with had this like vicious stomach bug.
Oh.
So I'm thinking maybe I got that or something. I don't know. I'm falling apart, but I got some scrambled egg in me. I got some coffee. I think I'll survive.
I'm just imagining you like crawling across the ground just to get to your chair right here, just so you can click the button and join us. Okay, I'm here.
No, it wasn't that bad. But no, yesterday was just bizarre though, because like when I woke up, super thirsty. Oh God, I need some water. I slammed down some water. Ooh, what's that feeling? Oh, I know that feeling. It's just like, God damn. I'm like, all right, keep water down. Like maybe milk will help settle it. Oh no, that was a big mistake.
Ugh.
I learned my lesson that time.
Yeah. Milk the second time around is never a fun thing.
Milk can be a good idea, I find, if it's just like if you're already through the worst of this shit. Yeah. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is heavy and flat. It's good. Otherwise, it's just like, your fucking digestive tract is like, motherfucker, did you not just pay attention to what happened?
I'm a ginger ale nut when I get a tummy ache. I just want ginger ale. It's like the only thing I can tolerate.
Ginger ale is like a nice hangover accessory.
I always keep like a 12-pack of it somewhere in the house, usually on the back porch because it's cold out there.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised yesterday though, because I eventually did like, even just walking like the 200 yards to the store was agonizing, and I got there and like that's where I got the soup. I got this big ass bottle of Gatorade because I was still dying of thirst. And I'm like, all right, maybe this will work, and somehow it did. So I now class Gatorade as medicine.
It replaces all like the electrolytes and shit that you miss from getting sick. So they actually say it is good. It's like when they give like kids Pedialyte. It's like Pedialyte for grown-ups.
I actually used to keep stuff. I keep that shit on hand.
I think every parent keeps it on hand eventually at some point. You guys don't know anything about Pedialyte yet. You will learn the ways of the Pedialyte.
I already have.
Not you, those two.
Oh, yeah, you guys will knock someone up eventually.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You'll also learn to never
act
give your
like
child
I didn't.
full 100% orange or apple juice.
You act like I wasn't married for 12 years or something, Missy. Jesus.
I didn't think you actually had kids, though.
Jesus.
Yes, we had a child.
You actually
He passed away, but yes.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry. I did not know. Well, then Bulls knows. Bulls knows about Pedialyte.
Now everybody knows this, but that's all right. I don't mind discussing it, but I don't want to bring the whole show down. So continue.
Yeah, no. I was just going to say, you also do not ever want to give your child full 100% apple juice. And there are babies, unless you really like poop.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
you
that's
really
like
poop.
That's like nature's laxative right there.
I learned that the hard way.
I think last year, I don't know. Last year I was having some mild digestive problems, so I got the bright idea in my head to get like an OTC like laxative. And I read it said something like, yeah, it takes like 5 to 6 hours or so to like really kick in. So I'm like, okay. And then I realized, I'm like, oh shit, wait a second, I've got a show to do. I'm like, okay, it's a race. Let's see which will finish its job first, me or that little yellow pill. That was interesting because, like, about like halfway through the show, it was like the stomach was just making noises like it was a battleship engine. It's like, what the fuck? Uh-oh. I was still hosting with Jeff at the time. He's like, what is it? I'm like, I might have taken a laxative before the start of the show. I guess I'm learning something today.
That happened to my ex. He had taken a whole bunch of laxatives, but they were like the overnight ones, and he forgot that he took them. And then he had to like go to work and had like a big meeting and was on the way to the meeting, and the laxatives kicked in and had to pull over and basically blow up a Burger King bathroom.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, did you guys see the story about the guy who they called like the police and stuff and got guns drawn in the McDonald's because some lady overheard a guy coming out of the bathroom saying that he was going into the bathroom saying he was gonna blow it up?
Bro, that bitch knew exactly what he was saying. What a fucking asshole. She just wanted to cause a situation. That lady's a fucking
I can't remember
bitch.
where I saw it. I don't remember if it was on stream or if it was actually like on the news.
Sorry, I just noticed on Twitter. I want to see before we get going. What's this honest red chat king?
Oh, don't
drama?
worry about that. He just wants to get unbanned.
Oh, it's
He'll get unbanned, I'm sure. He just needs to not be a butt.
Yeah.
It's just Pimp is the only one that can do it, and he's moving. Hence the reason, the empty square. But thankfully, he found a house. He popped in yesterday and showed us his big new streaming studio. So
he's moving up then. It's a good.
mhm.
Oh, that's good.
I just hope you put some sound deadening in that room because that echo was, whew, man.
I think it will be better once he gets furniture in it. You know, like it was a giant room with a desk and a chair. So, and I don't think he had headphones on either. So, like, I feel like once furniture is in it and he like hangs up all his stuff, it won't be so bad. So, hopefully we'll see him by the end of the week. That's when he was saying his internet should be back hooked up in the new place.
Yeah, I think he said
You guys
Thursday.
should make sure that you tip.
Oh, so he's not joining us today then?
No. He might pop in. He popped in yesterday as like a surprise for a second, but
Yeah.
he doesn't have any internet over there yet, and he's still trying to move everything from the old house to the new house. He did he wanted me to tell everyone that he put the updated Amazon wish list link in the description, and to remind you that it is still the 28 days of Pimpmunk. So go buy him presents and go buy Mama Pimp presents, because it's the 28 days of Pimpmunk and that's what you're supposed to do. It's like law. So do it. Thank you.
Oh, I like it. I think I'm gonna copy that.
Mhm.
Gonna copy that little scheme. I'm gonna try and get a show tonight. I can't. Oh, here's a bitch. So I got my phone shut off.
That's awful.
Well, it was when I explained it to Jables and them. They got a pretty good laugh out of it. So, like, it was the plan I had with my dad, who died a couple months ago, and I've been like throwing minimum payments towards it to keep it on, but then I discovered that. So in his senility, as he was getting out there,
Right.
he got on this weird online shopping kick for a while.
Ooh.
Where he'd buy the weirdest shit. We're talking about a guy who's like damn near 70, but he looks and moves like an 80-something-year-old, more or less bedridden. Buys himself he wanted to get knee pads for when he had to get down under his bed to get something, which he never did because he never remembered anything at all. And so I get there, and in addition to like several boxes of like tomato sauce, shitload of tomato sauce, like 4 cases of hot sauce, I also find this one large box with what is effectively like it's pretty much like full body sparring gear. And I'm like, Dad, why do you have this? He's like, why do I have what? And I'm like, the sparring gear stuff. He's like, I didn't order sparring gear. And I showed it to him. And he put like 2 pairs of glasses on and squinted so he could see through his cataracts. And he's like, oh, yeah, I did buy that. I'm like, why? He's like, I don't remember. Okay. Well, so the same sort of thing happened with our phone plans.
Oh, no.
Because when we upgraded for the first time, he took some literature with him and then discovered that online he could add 2 or maybe add a third or maybe 4th line for a tablet and all this other shit that he didn't need and couldn't use.
Oh.
And so he passes. So like I get on the line with I'm like in a chat with the Sprint rep. I'm like, so what's it gonna take to get my phone turned back on? I'm like, well, you're gonna need to make a payment of $467. No.
Yeah, like a why?
Well, they're like, well, sir, this is your account, so technically this debt will be outstanding. I'm like, whose name is on the contract? And they're like, Alexander Groff. I'm like, yeah, he's plenty dead. I think this contract is null and void. But because of that, because the phone's shut off, like it still communicate like through all the Wi-Fi shit, like Messenger and all that. But the other day I went to switch from my show Twitch to my personal Twitch because I wanted to stream some gaming, and then it's like 2-factor authentication. Oh no! So I'm locked out of Twitter till I get a phone.
Fuck.
You mean Twitch?
That's
Twitch, sorry, yeah, Twitch. So I'll be back streaming exclusively on YouTube until I can fucking unfuck that mess.
I got kicked off of Twitch for doing dabs and drinking beer for money.
He did.
Apparently that's against the rules to do that, so I'd watch out.
Huh.
That's
Well,
They
I
pulled
don't-
that. They pulled the 2-factor crap on me too, and it took me about 2 weeks to get that shit straightened out, even with a phone.
Well, what I'm hoping to do is because my brother's already pretty much said that he's like, yeah, well, I'll put you on. He's like, I'll put you on my family plan as long as you can keep your end of the bill paid. And I'm like, yeah, shouldn't be a problem. I'm just not paying $450, so I'm gonna if I can get the number ported, I should be able to start it up and then just get back to it. But it sucks because like I had just for the first time in like 15, 20 years now gotten like a primary care physician. And I was all like, I'm gonna go to the doctor's office. Please call me back. And then no phone, so I'll just let him write it up to a crank call.
Just
God
go to a
bless
different
America.
doctor when you get the phone back, and it'll act like it never happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a kind of like crazy month.
It's been a kind of
Fuck
crazy
November.
year.
Well, December is just going to be the absolute worst, right? It's going to be
Uh-huh.
like the grand finale of the shit
Uh-huh.
of the fireworks shit show.
I'm waiting because I don't know how it's been up where you are, because I know you and I are kind of close. But explain to me why we have had so many 60 and 70 degree days in November. At least down here, it's been
Well, that's
incredibly warm.
well, I'd say just off the top of my head, fucking climate change.
Exactly, but it's not real, right?
Well, neither's coronavirus, but it's still killing hundreds of thousands of people. So,
Exactly.
real is
But-
relative.
I'm thinking that in December or January up here, we are going to get hit with like blizzard after blizzard after blizzard after blizzard.
Mm.
Hopefully that'll keep people inside though, and then maybe numbers will go down a bit.
I mean, how long have you been in Canada? Like, you've experienced blizzards before, right, Marshall?
I wouldn't say I've experienced like a blizzard, but some pretty heavy snow. Yeah.
Chab, have you ever experienced the blizzard?
I'd say now.
What about you, Bowles? You've
I
probably
grew up in
experienced
Colorado Springs.
Yeah, so you know
I
exactly.
experienced a few blizzards. We woke up one
Yeah.
morning and I opened the front door, and there was a wall of snow in front of the door.
Imagine
so
having
much
to
so
dig
that light,
yourself out of your house.
right? So much so that light couldn't even get around it. Like, it was dark wall of snow. The only light was from inside. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had, here in New Hampshire, I remember a few times there have been like, goddamn, like 10-foot high snowbanks along both sides of
Of the road.
downtown.
Mhm.
Yeah, obviously that was a drift. I mean, it wasn't, the snow wasn't all 10 feet tall, but the drift up
Right.
against
No,
the door
no,
was.
it was plowed. No, it was plowed up into those banks. But it's just interesting because you'll be walking on the sidewalk and you'll just have this wall where they'll cut these walkways, like door-sized walkways, like at every crosswalk. So it feels like you're just walking down some really cold hallway.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know. But then again, keep in mind, like last winter was fucking stupid mild.
It was.
I wouldn't be shocked if it wasn't like that again. Probably going to be one of these things where it's like, hey, it's going to be 40s and 50s all winter, except these handful of times where it's going to drop to 20 below and you're going to have an ice storm. Aren't those fun?
Oh, God.
Although I do like those because, well, at least when things are still more open. I live downtown, so I said fuck it one night and I just like trooped down after this, what I thought was just a snowstorm. Turns out it was a nasty ice storm. Everything's covered in like a sheet of ice. And I made my way down to the bar, so I'm sitting there and I'm like enjoying my drink, and I get some like plate of fries or something. And at the intersection on the corner, the sidewalk kind of curves down into the street. Nobody apparently noticed this because anyone coming down the street would end up like ice skating or falling flat on their ass and sliding like 10 feet. But most of these people are drunk, mind you, so it got even funnier. There's like a pair of girls who this pair of drunk girls, and they're walking down and they're doing their little like tippity flippity thing, trying to stay upright. They get to this little patch and they start trying to make it up. Somehow they made it up like a few paces, but then realized they had no footing and didn't know what to do. So they were stranded literally on the corner of a sidewalk. And I just watched this and it was like the funniest shit. One of them fell down and ate shit. The other one skated backwards without control. and then figured out she had to walk like 20 yards up the street before she'd get around it. But there's nothing, there's upsides to a good ice storm. You get to watch drunks and idiots hurt themselves.
That last bad ice storm that we had, not last winter, but the winter before that one. My driveway, right, goes down into, the back parking lot thing. Because my landlord decided we don't need a backyard. He's just going to pave the entire thing. So it goes down on like a slant. And the whole road is like a giant hill. So we have these stone retaining walls. So the part of my driveway that's closest to the road has a stone retaining wall. And I'm trying to back out of my driveway. I have a big 4x4 truck at this point. I didn't have my Infinity, but I'm coming out of the driveway and it's all ice, and my back passenger tire slides and goes over the rock wall. So now I have 3 tires on the driveway and one kind of hanging. Well, I'm stuck on a fucking wall. So I threw it into the 4-wheel drive and gunned it and got myself up back over the wall and stopped, thankfully. And I tried to back out again. Same thing happened, and I went back over the wall, and this time skidded to the point where I was that close to crashing into the house. Scared for my fucking life, somehow managed to throw it into 4-wheel drive again, gun it, and then gun it backwards and make it into the street without killing anybody. But I did fuck the wall up.
I guess it kind of goes to show that even when you grow up with this shit, you're never fully prepared for what it's got.
No. I've lived my whole life in Connecticut. I've experienced all this shit before.
Well, my first car, this was years and years ago. I think I was 17, 18. My first car was a 78 Ford Granada. Big stinking boat. The thing was ugly as sin. It was like a faded piss yellow. But so a big old boat, size of like a 90s Lincoln Town car or something. And I head out to this town called Auburn, which is in the sticks. It's like kind of like money sticks. So it's just like nice houses every fucking 500,000 yards or something. But yeah, and it's all just rural. Milla and I ended up at this house party, ate a bunch of ecstasy, smoked a whole lot of weed, and then we all got the bright idea, hey, let's go for a drive. Mind you, it's again the middle of winter, massive, heavy fucking snowstorm. Snow's coming down everywhere. The shit's not plowed. But I'm like, fuck it, I know what I'm doing. I feel great, So we pile in this car. There's 6 of us in there. We're coming down this one big ass hill that comes down along the side of a lake. And as we're cruising down this hill, all of a sudden the front end starts to drift a little bit. And then the rear end starts to drift a little bit. And then I just noticed that the car is driving itself. And it's doing little spins as it traverses down this hill. And then at a certain point, so there's 3 girls in the back who are freaking out. I'm barely cognizant that there's a problem because everything's fine. And we keep spinning. Finally, thud, back end smacks into the fucking snowbank. I'm facing up the hill this time. They're terrified. And I'm like, see, we're fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. I get back to driving. And then because I was pointed in that direction and I had no direction to go, started going back up the hill. And they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I thought we'd do that again. No, it was fine.
Oh my God.
Suffice it to say, they didn't want to go. They didn't want to ride my car anymore.
No, I don't blame them. I had a buddy who pulled the e-brake on me just randomly going down the highway.
Oh, that's the kind of my brother does that shit. He'll go down to Route 102, a nice big 5-lane, state highway, and just downtown area because no one's around. And the cops aren't gonna pull anyone over. They're not doing shit. So he'll just be driving down the street and he'll just pop the e-brake and just spin the car a few times before just catching it and going back.
Yeah, that's what he liked to do to me. Just, oh, you want to come get some weed? I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go.
That's some legit New England hillbilly shit though, isn't it? I mean, this is the same brother who, like, he and his friends, until he got into drifting, their big hobby was they'd throw some money together, buy like a $500 truck off of Craigslist. And he lives in a really rural part himself, so they just drive this bitch out into the woods and just bounce it off trees until it stopped moving. And then his buddy would go out there with his excavator and pull it out, and they'd do it all again next week.
Oh yeah, my hometown, they do this huge like Jeep mudding big truck event every fall or summer. I think they might do 2 of them, but there's just big. It's a whole bunch of open farmland, and they get it all muddy, and they let them come and jump cars and trucks and just make big mud pits and.
Yep. Yeah, that's New Hampshire living in a nutshell. Of like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's like, everyone, he loves outdoor sports, except not all of us can afford a fucking boat. Which actually reminds me, my brother's got a boat.
Or a lifted fucking truck with giant fucking mutter tires and a lift kit. And
well, that's funny. These guys are all renters and like gear, like, redneck gearheads. Like, so they're all into drifting now. So they've been building drifting cars and going drifting. Like at a track and shit. They have a team and all that. But yeah, my brother's like an electrician. He does security installations now. And he was on this one property doing this wire up job. And out of nowhere, the homeowner or the client, whatever, the homeowner, property owner comes up and he's just like, you want a boat by chance? Sounds like, what? He's like, I got this boat. I don't want it anymore. Do you want it? Perfect condition and a motor and everything. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, sure. So I'm like, okay. So now you get yourself a quad 4-wheeler. You got 2 rat rods that you built. You got your Harley. You got your truck. You got your Mustang project car. And now you have a boat. Stop collecting vehicles. You're not.
Sounds like my cousin. Oh, my cousin's in Maine instead. I've always wanted to try, though, like a little like secret guilty pleasure. Those ones where they put like skis on the bottom of a sofa? Have you seen this?
I have. I've never once been remotely enticed to.
I just kind of want to take a ride. I don't want to build it. I don't want to like.
Just throw your own body down a slope. Cut out the middleman.
It'd be more fun to be in like a couch on skis.
Like, you just want like a lazy boy thing. That way when it shifts direction and topples over, you get an actual piece of furniture hurtling over you as it happens.
It seems kind of fun. I don't know.
You could just go snowboarding or something.
I do that. My aunt lives in New Hampshire. She works on a mountain up there, so every winter we go up and the whole family goes. But
I am never.
That's why I kind of want to go on the couch.
Oh. Well, given my last experience, I'd say the couch would probably be preferable. I used to ski when I was a kid, and back in the day when I was when I was a beer critic, these like beer and liquor companies that just send me on all these random ass trips like Vegas and Orlando, Nashville, and one of them, it had nothing to do with booze or beer reviews. It was just my editor's like, hey, this company wants to send one of our writers out to review spring skiing in Northern California. How's that sound? I'm like, sure. I'll take any trip. It's a free little vacation. Huh. I get out. Well, I'm used to New England skiing like we've got, which it's like, they carve the slopes in the mountainside, and then they're like either like flat or they go straight down. They're icy, and it's New England skiing. Cali skiing is way different, just because like the mountains are bigger.
Mm.
And I hadn't skied in 16 years. Put on a lot of weight, injured myself a number of times. Plus, I was jet lagged and hungover the morning that they were like, "Let's go skiing." All these like health bloggers and fucking lifestyle people, like clean people, not fucked up people.
I fall down every season.
Oh yeah,
I'm
well
no
this
good.
one.
I fall
Well,
down
this sucks.
every
Like I get up on the slopes and I'm like, hey, I kind of remember how this works. This is fun.
It's
We
kind
go
of
down
like
one trail, we go a little further up the mountain, come on down a little further, go up again. We get up to the summit, we come down. That's fun. And I was doing fine, and then at one point my skis disagreed about where we were going. I go over flat on my side, straight on my left shoulder. The guide who was bringing the group down the mountain just was standing out front, and he like looks behind him when I fell. He's like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" I'm like, I think so. I didn't see
God.
that, but I felt that because that was all 220 pounds of me coming down, smashing on this left shoulder. I got back up, so I'm like, no, I'm fine. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. I'm noticing, I'm like, God, this is really hurting. I get back on the chairlift, and I notice I'm starting to get vertigo, which I normally don't unless something's wrong. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. And I'm on my way up to the summit where, like, it's so high I can see fucking Lake Tahoe. So I get up there, and the whole group goes down, and they come down a little trail, and then you take a little hairpin turn. You go down this little steep trail before you get off onto the main ones. I get I'm in the back. I get halfway down the steep part, and then my legs make a decision, and we stop. And I'm trying to tell myself, I'm like, okay, just come on, fellas, just turn and go down that way. We did this once, fine. Okay, no, maybe I'll take my skis off and just have a seat for a moment, have a smoke up here, and oh, yep, that's an anxiety attack. That's a like bona fide anxiety attack, 12,000 feet above the fucking, above the ground.
Oh God.
This is fine. They ended up bringing me down on a ski-doo, the snowmobile, which itself was pretty fun. Then we went at lunch and everyone's like, "Hey, guy, ready to hit the slopes again, man?" Like it's an '80s fucking ski school movie. No, I'm gonna take the tram down to the base, which kind of worked out because I went down there and I treated my wounded shoulder with whiskey, and then just got into fun conversations with some like local people at the bar. Next thing I know, the guy's giving me like a whole eighth of his Northern Cali homegrown.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go skiing in Cali.
Well, actually that's a weird one though. If we do get like decent ski season, do you think they'll be like, it's a great activity, it's social distanced?
Yeah.
Yeah. You wear a mask.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
I can see it. I mean, we're all going into lockdown now again over here. They had opened the schools, and absolutely ridiculous because within the first week there was like 14 cases of COVID at one school, 30 in another school, but they kept it going. One of my kids refused to go whatsoever. He was like, nope, not going. You can't make me. I don't feel safe. I'm not going. I'm like, all right, whatever. Because they offer both. You could do all at home or you could do the other one. So my oldest one was doing the other one where he goes a couple of days and then is home the other days. And now, because we've had a spike of like 7,000 cases within the past like 2 weeks or something down here, they're shutting all the schools down again. They're all going remote learning.
Yep, we're doing about the same. I mean, I think part of the problem, one of the reasons New England's going to get its ass kicked, is largely because it didn't really come up here in super huge numbers. Boston had the worst of it, and they managed to contain it pretty decently for what they could have had. One of the problems I noticed though is that as their lockdown went on, and New Hampshire for the most part was like, nah, okay, I'll tell you what, we'll shut everything down for two weeks maybe, okay. And then when they reopened things with like limited capacity, like Friday night, the bar I usually like to go to, I went down one Friday night, and it was packed, like 300 people easily, shoulder to shoulder, no masks. Everyone's just breathing in each other's faces. I'm like, I don't think Jameson is worth that for me right now.
Not at all.
But the problem was that as masks remained closed, New Hampshire opened up. And so a lot of them just started coming up here. And so that's where I see it going now. Because like the cases even in New Hampshire are like over 1,000 a day some days now. So
that's how it is down here too. It's bad.
I don't know if I'm weird about this, but I kind of miss the spring terror of it all, when it was new and we were all, everyone
We
was
were
like
all
locked
scared.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there was also like, well, it's funny because like we got to watch the late night show hosts try and learn to become streamers, and YouTubers, right? And
Yeah.
I mean, God, to watch like the professionals make millions fuck it up that bad, like, sorry, Seth Meyers,
They
you
either
never.
did that or they became porn stars. All of a sudden, everyone's a porn star.
Oh yeah, everybody's got an OnlyFans. It's like I got nothing to do and I masturbate too frequently for it
I
not
might
to
as
be
well
make the living. But also, I mean, then it was also like this there was like a short-lived sense of like we're all in this together and everyone is like people
Right.
were checking in on each other. I got annoyed with it because I fucking hate it when people do that. Like,
Mhm.
when you get a bunch of people like, hey, are you okay? I'm here. Like, I know you're there.
Yeah.
I know
You're
you're
there.
there.
I'm here. No
Yeah.
one's going anywhere. We're all in lockdown.
Yeah,
Where are you gonna go?
Yeah, I kind of miss that. And then over the summer, it's like we just decided that we've defeated the virus by getting bored with it.
Right.
I want to go to brunch again. Okay. Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's also why was calling the White House and shit and asking about the wrestling tickets.
I think I saw a program last night. I think it was a segment on the nightly news, and they were talking about how kids are now like there's 3 times as many kids being admitted for like depression and
Oh.
anxiety, and that there are 3-year-olds being depressed and all this stuff. And it's like they're saying it's because they miss going to school, and they I'm not saying that they don't need that, because I know that they need that social interaction to develop properly. And
Yeah.
they need those they want their friends, they miss their friends, of course. I think a lot of it has to do with them probably watching their parents freaking the fuck out for 10 months.
Well, it's that. Plus, it's also, I mean, like, for a lot of
Yeah.
kids, like, I was one of those kids who hated school.
Yeah.
Just because I hated everyone I went to school with. But, it's like, if I can definitely see, like, so they had, most of their summer vacation was robbed, right? So they didn't get that.
Yeah.
And now they don't even get to like start their day leaving home and getting away from their parents where they can see their friends and do activities. And so, yeah, this entire generation of children, if this drags out too long, it's going to be really fucked up from it.
Mm-hmm. I feel bad.
Well, maybe if maybe if enough people in the country are actively and openly experiencing mental health issues, maybe we'll take it seriously.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Shut up, Marshall.
What did I do?
No, you two are so fucking talkative, let me tell you.
Marshall won't shut up. Give us
And
some
me,
room to talk.
I think Pimp
skiing.
is going to be upset about the lack of tips that have been heard this episode.
Yeah, this is looking more
That
like.
is true.
I mean, yeah, this is starting to look like an episode of my show, except I don't know, maybe like 15 more people watching.
Mm.
He's going to be mad at you guys, and then he's going to yell at me. So thanks. Thanks for getting me yelled at. You guys are great.
That's it. I'll
gonna
be
yell
right
at-
back.
He needs to go down to his internet provider with a gun and be like, get this fucking internet in my house right now so we can get back on the show. We miss him out here.
So I told him, I was like, it's not the same without you. We miss you, big guy. Guys, show Pimp you miss him. Show him with money. Show him your love with money. It's the best way. He'll know you really love him.
You guys are fucking white.
Mm-hmm.
You
I don't know.
guys
I'm
are
sorry.
white? Are you talking to the rest of us? Or are you talking to the audience? I'm confused.
Everybody here is white, and I have a problem with you all. Okay?
You're white.
I don't
You're
have a problem.
white.
You
You're
have a
white.
problem, not me.
You're
Okay.
white.
Mm-hmm.
You're
My
white,
use isn't
though.
affecting my family. No. I don't want to hear it.
I fucking love Marshall. Oh goodness.
So
How's
when you-
Marilyn? I haven't seen her in a minute. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Shab.
I'm just gonna ask him if he wore his mask when he pooped a minute ago.
What
Wait, he isn't wearing a mask.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, this is true.
I do wear my.
When you...
Yeah, do I wear my face? No, I let it air dry in the sink. She's
Oh, God,
saucy.
the way it would just work.
He's getting saucy this morning, man.
He is.
He's saucy.
She's tired. She got fucking laid off because of the restrictions went back up here because people don't want to be responsible. So we had like a huge fucking uptick in cases, and I don't know how long it's gonna last, but yeah. She had just gotten a new job from the last fucking shutdown, you know.
No, she was working at a restaurant, and she was really happy about it.
I didn't like the place anyway, to be honest with you, so fuck it. But hopefully she can get a better job, because they were kind of assholes over there. But I don't know. Canada's a weird situation because they were doing so well for so long, and then people just got too comfortable and they were like, okay, I don't have to try anymore. And then I don't know. I think too many people here want to end up like the U.S. If you ask me.
Well, yeah, over here, like no one's wearing a mask anymore.
It's ridiculous. But I'm like worried about coming back, so I'm coming back pretty soon.
Are you?
And the neighborhood I live in, like my zip code, has like the second highest infection rate in Western New York or something like that. It's crazy.
Oh God, that's
Yeah.
awful.
So I don't know. I'm not going to support businesses there if they don't have a mask mandate because I don't know what the situation is there. If it's optional for businesses to choose, I'm not going to go into a business if they don't have a mask mandate. I'm just not going to.
Well, that's the thing. Most of the ones around here say on the door, like, if you don't have a mask on, you won't be allowed service. But
Right.
there's still plenty of people that go in without masks. And
Right,
they don't say
and
anything.
they don't say shit anymore. They used to say it.
Yeah.
Like when I remember the first time someone told me that, I was just like, "Oh, you need to wear a mask." I'm like, "Well, you have them here? I mean, can I buy one here? Because like I don't know where to get them." I was at a convenience store in the middle of the night, and they're like, "Yeah, here, you can have this one." They gave me one.
Oh, sick.
That, but you know, now I see people in that same store where they told me to do that. Now some of the employees are wearing their masks like chin hammocks.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
why are you wearing it if you're not covering your nose and mouth? What's the point?
Right.
There's
like that
It's
picture
not there to
floating
keep
around
me from-
Twitter right now.
It's not there to keep your beard from getting in the customer's food, you jackass.
There's that picture floating on Twitter right now that has that guy that was at like a MAGA Millions, whatever, and he has his mask like pulled down and he's like yelling and you can see all the spit just like
people are fucking so stupid. I hate that Trump has. I think the biggest tragedy of Trump's presidency is that he has not only emboldened, but he has made anti-intellectualism like look appealing to a large demographic of this country. Like the fact that Trump got as many votes as he did is disturbing. Like, yeah, he may have lost, but the dude still got like 71 something million votes. Like that's terrifying. And I think it's a tragedy, especially because Trump really literally could have, if he wanted to, actually been like one of the greatest presidents ever. He really could have come in, because no one knew what the hell he was going to do. And he really could have come in and been like, fuck it, and actually done shit and changed shit. But he was just like, no, I'm going to be a fucking shitbag Republican to my core, to the most extreme extent possible. And it's just really a fucking tragedy. I hate that man.
Awful. I don't understand the world that it is today. I don't understand humans.
I hate that it's like before growing up, everyone's stupidity around me was just something that I could like, you know, try to avoid. But it could literally kill me hypothetically, you know.
Yeah, no.
People are so stupid, it's killing in this country.
It's just
I like how all the guests are taking poop breaks.
everyone's
Who's
got to
next?
poop.
Who's next?
Man, I tell you
Kind of
something.
gotta pee.
You might want to call the police because I blew up that bathroom, and I'll do it again.
Oh God! With your butt?
With my
Nick.
ass.
McGraw, citation needed. That's all I gotta say to what you just said in the live chat there.
I'm not gonna get into an argument about what Trump did or didn't do for people. I'm not gonna get into an argument about what Obama did or didn't do for people. Because right now, Biden is the president, and instead of being so divided as a country, I think everyone needs to put their differences aside and come together so that we can pull ourselves out of this pandemic without absolutely destroying the economy.
You're more of an optimist than me, I gotta tell you. I
I
applaud
don't
it.
think it can be done.
Yeah, she
I don't think they're
is.
going to do it, but
No, they're not gonna
that's
do
what
it.
I would want. That's what I would hope for. That's what I would hope everyone else would hope for. That, you know, you can Republican, Democrat, Liberal, whatever the fuck. We're all still fucking humans. We're all still living on this one plot of land over here, and it's going to fucking hell regardless of who's fucking running it. So at this time, I think I think we can all be grown. I would hope that we would all be able to be grown enough to just try to fix this shit and stop pointing blame, because the blame isn't going to help anybody. Saying that's your fault that this happened isn't going to fix the situation. It's not going to make it easier to move forward. Like, you just need to fucking fix it and move forward. Who gives a fuck who did it? It's here now.
It was China. You understand?
I think you're presuming like a level of maturity that's not really there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, like,
It's disappointing.
well, it's a funny thing because you know the majority of people are not hardcore nut jobs. You know, they're not like, you know, they're not these morons who are out in the streets getting into punch ups. But you know, I mean, for some reason we've allowed them to sort of set the tone of all of our dialogues. You know, the you can't be on the right now without being a racist fascist. You can't be on the left without being some godless Marxist, like, trans person, even though that's a load of horse shit. And then that's what we see, you know. And it's the same sort of like mixed message you get with something like just like think about for all the time people have been bitching, oh, the media is biased, you can't trust the media, we need to go and enjoy this new media we've got. And what's the new media? It's like openly biased shit. It's Candace Owens, you know, it's Cenk Uygur. Yeah, it's a bunch of batshit crazy people who unfortunately are loud enough to convince people who are barely paying attention that this is representative of what people actually think. And so, and I mean, then you look at like the Trump side of things, his hardcore supporters, a lot of them don't even really seem to necessarily believe anything concretely. Like, there's no ideology at work there. It's just, this is our guy, and the people we hate him, so we love him, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, it's a similar thing when I see like when I saw the young, you know, the young progressives on election when they announced his win, and they were all like, oh my god, he's our president, he's going to be the best. It's like, no, he's not. Are you familiar with who this is? Do you know who you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's, yeah.
I saw him tweet last night, Biden, that is something about, we're gonna fucking, what did he say? He's like, let me find the tweet.
Don't you love that too? Nonsense. Like political leaders, like we get our communications from them via tweet.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a while to get used to that, because Trump was really the first president that's like, his way of addressing the country was Twitter, and it took me so long to be like, this is fucking, to not think that this was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Well, I'm actually going to be recording a video on this after, like later this afternoon. But what's a funny thing I've been noticing, it's like I thought about a fistful of different presidents, right? I thought about Trump, Obama, Bush, Reagan, and Kennedy, just as a sample. And if you take Kennedy, Reagan, and Obama, like the common thread to them is like they presented an air of leadership, in that, you know, they tried to at least appear to inspire like higher minded ideas, you know, think beyond yourself. You know, Kennedy had asked not what your country can do for you. Reagan constantly used lofty rhetoric about what a progressive and open and free society we have. And Obama was all like, hope and change, yes we can. And it inspired people in that way. And then I realized there's an inverse side to that. Because if you look at Trump or W, anytime you hear like the ordinary voter say, I like him because he tells it like it is, it's usually the opposite of that other, like, you know, leadership quality, right. In that it's more that people are voting because they see elements of themselves in these people. With George W. Bush, he's so folksy. I'd like to have him at a barbecue. And that compared to like the robot that was John Kerry, for instance. Like, oh, okay, I understand that. Trump seems to actually offer a lot of people an invitation to sort of embrace their like lower, more base, sullied kind of sides. Like, it's okay to be caustic. It's okay to fling shit all over the place. You know, yeah, that's what your leader is doing, acting like a petulant child. But it's okay because, you know, we all have the capacity to be that kind of fucking screaming imbecile. And so people see it in him and they're like, yeah, that's my president. Why? Because he doesn't make you feel stupid with big words?
Yeah, basically.
I found the tweet. He said, when we build back better, which, by the way, I hate that fucking slogan, but whatever. When we build back better, we will do so with higher wages, including a $15 minimum wage, better benefits, and a stronger collective bargaining rights that you can raise a family on. And it's just like, bitch, I will believe it when I see it. Because I fucking highly doubt that you're going to have a national $15 minimum wage. There's no fucking way. You'll never do it.
How is he going to do that? Is that fucking Trump talking?
No, that's Biden.
That's Biden's.
I thought you said Trump said that, and I was like, wait, is he still going on this I'm the president kick?
He is, but no, he didn't say that.
Okay.
Well, I'm really hoping that they follow through on that student loan forgiveness, even though...
Yeah. I saw my family members. I grew up in the South, so I have a lot of really right-wing family members, and they shared an article stating that Biden might forgive a section of the student loan debt. And one older family member, I'll say, was just like, this is the fucking worst idea I've ever heard. And like, that's not fair to the people that had to pay their loans. And I'm like, okay, so let's say a soldier gets to go home early from the war. And then some guy walks in and was like, no, that's not fair to the people that had to serve their full time and get killed in the war. So you got to stay here and just suffer. Like, no, that's retarded.
Right. That's a ridiculous statement.
I like how Bo of the Fifth Column put it when he addressed the issue. And he said, effectively, it's a lot like, when you come up with like a polio vaccine. Is that unfair to the people who died of polio?
Yes. Yeah.
And then it's what's interesting that, like, because he also, I hadn't really thought of it this way, but he pointed out in his video that the underlying motivation to opposing student loan forgiveness or like public universities is often really kind of rooted in this notion that because they say things like, oh well, if anyone can get a degree, they'll be worthless. Like, really, is that what it's about? Is it just about the credential? Because if that's the case and you want to keep barriers in place, that means that you want certain people to be afforded the ability to rise in their station, as it was, and you want other people kept where they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. It's totally about classism. And I use the example of when I had first moved out on my own, I had applied for a data entry job, and I killed all the exams. They do tests to make sure you can type a certain amount of words per minute, this and that. I nailed everything, and they're like, okay, awesome, let's get you in here. So I get in, they're like, oh, you don't have a diploma, we can't hire you. I'm like, but I've objectively proved scientifically that I am qualified for this job. They're like, no, sorry.
You should always lie. I mean, I got thrown out of college because of shit Biden actually did.
So, oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'd gone for like a year and a half at this crap community level school. Discovered I liked it. Was told, yeah, like you could qualify for loans and you don't go to repayment until you're done with your degree. Until you're done being a full-time student. So I managed to write and speak my way into St. Anselm College, which is like one of the best pre-law schools in the region. And after like a semester and a half, I got booted out because they're like, oh yeah, no, new changes to the law mean that your medical bills count against your credit, which means you don't qualify for loans, but you're going to keep all the debt that you've accrued. So we're kicking you out. Here's a bunch of debt, no degree. So I just lied after that. I said, fuck it, because I couldn't get a job because they're like, oh, no degree. I'm like, fuck it. Yeah, I have a degree. And nobody ever checked. And so I just coasted on that lie for like almost 10 years. And I think it was a couple of years ago, I went to like the St. Anselm website and they have this like alumni board where it's pictures of alumni. And they list me as a graduate with a bachelor's degree, even though they kicked me out. So yeah, fine. Just lie through your fucking, fuck them. It's not like they're going to tell you.
Jesus Christ.
I would call them up and just... Well, no, because then they would probably take you off the website. It would be funny if you could just call them up and have them print you another diploma like you lost. Yeah. Like, oh, can you just take me another one?
Yeah, look, I'm right there on the alumni.
Yeah, I lost my...
Right there, I lost it.
Yeah, that was with honors, by the way. With honors. Top honors. I don't know if you remember, I was valedictorian. It's like, I don't remember that. Well, clearly you weren't paying attention.
Yeah.
Excuse me? You don't? Are you paying attention to anything? Do you do your job?
What kind of job do you do?
Kind of important to know who big swinging dick in this conversation is, sir and or madam.
Speaking of important, Shabby, what do we do in the second hour?
We masturbate?
No, we e-demand.
Oh, yeah, we e-demand.
There you go.
Yeah.
In the description below, Pimp has a Streamlabs and a Patreon. Go give him money, guys. Shab has a Patreon. Go give him money. Bulls has a Patreon. Go give him money. I have a Patreon. You can if you want to. And tip, because Pimp is going to yell at me, please. John Morgan, he's going to yell at me. Can you make Pimp not yell at me, please?
Yeah, what the heck? Where's those big fat tips? Fill our gaps. What the hell?
Yes, please.
What's going on? Nick, beg for them to tip us with to fill our gaps with their big tips.
Oh, I need to save my shameless shilling for my things, you see. I have
this
a
is what
Patreon
we brought you on here.
Patreon.com/Wizard of Cause. You can find me over there. You give me money. You can throw it in Shab's face because he's not.
Bastard.
Yeah, see? Look
Bastard.
At that. It took
now it's my
turn. You.
And it turned it around on you. I didn't even know there were tables, but now they've been turned.
Fuck you. I'm going to come get your 20 viewers and bring them to me.
20? That's a bit more than usual. Oh yeah, no, my old shit's falling off pretty hard. No, I see people in this here saying like this is an argument I see a lot. A lot of kids will pick useless majors and I wonder why they can't use their degree to find work. I'd point out in that particular case that let's say, I mean, let's look honestly, is like, when you look at like the division of what people go to school for, and a lot of going to school is figuring it out. Because like you'll start out being like, oh, I want to like, I want to go and I want to learn, I don't know, fucking creative writing, right? And then along the way, you take like an elective and you're like, holy shit, I love this topic. And then you're like, end up a fucking electrical engineer or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Now, my question would it be worth denying the world potentially brilliant engineers who would not get a chance to study and move forward on that simply on the grounds of, oh, well, it's a, for-profit system based on loans, this and that. Simply to avoid having some useless feminist basket weaver kicking around out there. And whereas a lot of people are also saying like, because 2 guns, no ammo, so you can get a whole range of jobs with a degree and all. Oh yeah, and even like, especially trades too. I mean, my brother elected to go and become an electrician. And it's kind of funny because I see so many people out there being like, talking about it like there's some great drought of tradesmen out there, people pursuing trades when, I mean, most working class areas, even like here, that's just the standard go-to. You either work your way up through a company, starting as a laborer, and that's usually for like when the really, really poor fuckers are going at it, or you pursue it and, you pursue it otherwise. I personally don't really see any particular drought in tradescraft or tradespeople.
I haven't looked into it. I know that my grandfather for a minute was trying to be like, you need to go get your fucking what was it, CDL or something like that. You need to be a truck driver. And like there's a huge drought of truck drivers. If you're not gonna be in the fucking military, you need to go be a truck driver. Like, I don't want to be a goddamn truck driver. Sounds terrible. I would go insane.
PT
Another thing too,
spammers
like
here.
a lot of people need to understand that in the same way, like not everyone is fit, for instance, for a like a creative career, right? Or fit to be a writer or, any of these things.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people out there like me who are fucking useless when it comes to trades, like tradecraft. Yeah, I worked on a carpentry crew for a summer, and I have no natural aptitude whatsoever for that. I tried my best.
Yeah, I feel like there's way too many people nowadays that try to be YouTubers, like especially I'm sure since COVID broke out, even more people want to be YouTubers. And everyone just needs to stop following in our footsteps. They need to shut the fuck up and back to whatever you're doing before.
We could do like a scared straight thing where like all the YouTubers get in a room and start yelling at the kids like, listen, you don't want this. You don't want this
shit. You know how much likes I got on my last fucking post? You know what's that bothers me?
What was it that there was like actually a study came out like I think kids between the ages of like 9 and 14 or some shit like that, like overwhelming number of them in the US say like, I want to be an influencer.
God, yeah, exactly.
I fell into doing this shit largely because I literally had nothing else I could do. Like I was fucking living on my brother's couch for like 3 years trying like applying for job after job. None of them came through. I think it's probably the fact that I used to be a union organizer. It's like, what was your last job, sir? Oh, well, I'd go into workplaces and then I'd get all the employees together to start shit with management. But that's out of my system now, I promise. I want to finish concrete for you for $11 an hour and no benefits.
By the way, do you guys know where to hit Jimmy Hoffa? Thanks.
Yeah, and it was like after a while, like literally, like it's just like I started doing it. It kind of worked for a while, and I was like, "Holy shit! I'm making enough to actually like get my own apartment and clothe myself. This is cool." And then it went away. So, like, forewarning to any aspiring YouTube or streamers out there, it's a very fickle business. Very fickle. People will turn on you real quick. People you thought were your friends will turn on you real quick. It's not fun. I mean, it is, but it kind of makes me sad sometimes because, like, I've been involved in, like, you know, the film world, for instance. And I know a lot of people in, like, the music industry, and I know people in the publishing industries, right? Entertainment industries that are notoriously cutthroat and soulless. And I look at them and I hear my actor friends complaining about that, and I hear, like, you know, my publisher friends talk about how awful this and that is. Like, you have no idea. This online fake shit can't hold a candle to the streamer influencer world.
Dude.
So everybody's went and took a potty break besides me. Is it my turn to go shit now?
Let's just having a smoke.
Oh, is that where you went?
Yeah.
It's everybody's
leaving.
leaving.
And grab a blankie because they talked all that shit earlier, but today it's actually kind of cold in here. So
That's like, yeah, God's like, oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, God was like, oh, you're hot? There you go. I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I actually kind of like it being cold.
I'd rather it be cold. I hate when it's fucking hot.
It's actually... Oh, there you go.
I find that a lot of people act like you need a classroom to educate themselves. People can use the internet to explore topics of interest. Some people simply get a college degree because they feel like it is a qualifier to be a complete person.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when I started music production at 13 simply because it's just something I was interested in, and I now do it professionally just because I sat down myself and taught myself how to do it because I was passionate about it. You absolutely don't need to fucking throw yourself into a lifetime of debt to learn how to do something.
Though I wouldn't want to put a, let's say, like an attorney who hadn't gone to law school.
True.
One of those is my attorney. Or like
no, just be a serial killer and defend yourself in court. It always goes well every time.
You hire someone to, like, you know, you're building a house, right? And you know, you're building your own homestead, and you hire someone cheap and self-taught to do the wires.
Yeah.
Like, what's your experience?
Some jobs need college, you know, and you needed a degree, but not all. Stalking.
Fix the remote control. I'm plenty qualified to wire up your house.
I just hire illegal Canadians. I can get them to do it.
Yeah.
Mounties.
Raisin says I taught myself quantum mechanics, but I doubt I could get a job in the field.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a thing to know. I don't even know what quantum mechanics is.
It's a really bizarre fucking class of physics where nothing makes any fucking sense whatsoever.
Oh.
Well, on the quantum level, you can have one single particle exist simultaneously in two different places.
Two different places, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of times they'll just pop in and out of existence for no particular reason. They also discovered things like if you, I'm trying to remember if this is correct, because if you split a proton, I think it's a proton. Yeah, let's just say it's a proton. I'm probably wrong, but if you split one, you get two. And what they did is they shot two of these things down the particle accelerator at two different speeds, right, in different directions. Both ended up at the end at the same time with all the same readings and all the same data, and they can't explain why, because it's quantum world. None of it makes sense. So, like, all the Newtonian physics we're used to in terms of, like, how gravity works and all that goes out the window as soon as you get down to that level.
And the speed of light is relative to the observer, not the light itself. So whoever happens to be looking at that light, receiving that light, that speed of light is relative to them, not where they left or not what pushed it or whatever. It's bizarre. It's bizarre as hell.
Well, so yeah, and any effort to actually, like, observe like subatomic particles is actually somewhat ruined by the attempt to observe them because you're still actually basically like when you look at something,
Like
you're bouncing
fairies.
light particles off of it into your eyeballs and processing it. So if you're
Right.
doing that, you're bouncing particles against other particles, and so it's like, well, that's fucked now.
So it's like fairies. They're there, but if you look at them, they're not there anymore. It's like fairies.
They're saying wasn't protons, was it photons or maybe electrons? It's been a while. I only know this. I only know this shit because my dad studied nuclear physics at Cooper Union.
It's fairies.
Fairies, fuck, it might as well be.
That's what it is.
I just like that there's a plane of existence that, as far as we can tell, and as part of me almost hopes we never surpass it, but that it just makes no sense whatsoever. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like chaos.
Somebody said if
Marsh.
you think you understand quantum mechanics, you don't understand quantum mechanics.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like the only remote certainty they have about any of it is when it's just that the math pans out. So, like, if the math pans out based on what they know, they're like, all right, this could be true. Maybe.
Spec says you can see some quantum effects with your eyes. When helium gets below a temperature of 2.7 K, it does some really weird shit.
See?
And if Spec says it, I'm inclined to believe it.
Yeah. So, well, this is the weird shit with it, and it's the kind of thing too. Like, if more people actually focused on physics and science than jargon and politics, we'd be a lot better. We'd be living in Star Trek world, but we don't get Star Trek world. No.
I thought we were already supposed to be like headed towards Star Trek world.
Well, Musk will get us there, and then we can all be dicks to each other
Yeah.
in space.
Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine though, like if some bullshit partisan fight broke out, like on some remote ass fucking Mars base, you know? It's like, yes, every person there needs to do their job to maximum efficiency and work together and get along, otherwise you all die.
Mm-hmm.
But what did I hear some cuck bullshit coming out of you?
Yeah.
Is that some fascist shit? Yeah.
Did you give me the side eye? That's it. Everyone's
There
not going to be
are
able
no-
to breathe.
There are no capitalists in space. I say this, yes.
It's so crazy.
Until they find that like comet or that asteroid that's worth like $2 quadrillion because it's made of diamonds.
It's out there. Musk will probably get it.
Well, I saw a pretty neat. Somebody I saw it point out. I'd never really thought of it. It's just one of those obviously funny things. But throughout the universe, diamonds and gold are more plentiful than wood.
Yep.
By crazy amounts. I love that. And here we are. We're like just having slaves dig the shit out of the ground for us. Like, this is precious. The rest of the universe is like, they really like their shiny things.
They're like
Like
building
a bunch of
trash cans
children.
out of gold
They
and
seem
shit
to-
on other planets.
Uh-huh.
They seem to
Yeah.
really like these particular rocks, but those rocks over there, they can't stand them. They keep pushing them away from them
It'd be funny if,
every
like,
week with a vacuum cleaner.
yeah, just imagine like there's actually like this galactic community of like spacefaring aliens, and throughout their community, diamonds and gold are like waste products. They're like, for
They just
fuck's
paved
sake.
the street with diamonds.
Yeah, they're just like, all right, can you just push that shit back in the sun to get it out of my traffic lanes?
Oh, speaking of the sun, I saw someone. I don't know. It has to be a troll. Like it has to be. But they wrote like, I know we got over to the moon and stuff, but how come no one's ever been to the sun? Like I know it's hot and stuff, but like just wait until it's that time when it's all dark outside, like down in Antarctica, and then go up there. I mean, they are rocket scientists, aren't they?
That sounds
I
like
just like
someone
that.
who's actually really intelligent trying to sound like a stupid person because they know how dumb that sounds.
I was going to
That's what
go
I
the
thought.
opposite direction. If anything, if like the last few years have taught me anything, is that monumentally stupid people do in fact exist,
Yeah.
and they all are on Twitter.
Yes.
Well, that could be stupid, or that could be a failure in the education system too. Because
I don't know. I read it and I was like, you can't be that dumb, can you? I don't know.
I'm just looking forward to us like colonizing Mars, and then Mars splits off and becomes its own independent military power, and then we all get to live in the world of the Expanse.
Yeah.
Which is possibly some of the best sci-fi ever made. In my humble opinion.
We'll probably have a war with them too. That'll be
Oh,
fun.
yeah, no.
Interplanetary war. Great fun. That.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I love in that story though is like, you know, so yeah, they'll fling missiles at each other and shit, but if you really want to fuck up a planet, you just grab a big ass rock, paint it black, and then throw it at them. You know, it's like, oh yeah, just take out a major metropolitan area with like a giant asteroid that you just picked up. Fuck it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Shab? Aliens or no aliens?
I think that Marshall has a pretty fancy lawn chair there. I like your lawn chair, Marshall.
That's code for I was not paying attention.
I was paying attention to the lawn chair.
Okay, clearly.
Save the seat for you, Chef. Come on.
Did you guys actually see that they believe they found evidence that there is actual life? I believe in like the atmosphere of Venus.
I remember that. I remember seeing articles. I didn't read them though.
Can you imagine what like shitty creatures those must be?
They live in the atmosphere?
Yeah, it's like very, very basic primitive life, but they're saying that like I think it's between the density and the chemical composition that
Isn't it
basic
like
form.
They go there in space.
Isn't it like 900 degrees on the surface of that planet?
Something like that.
Oh yeah, and it rains something like I think molten lead.
Yeah, it's just not a nice place to visit, you know.
Yeah, but if you don't need to live on the planet's surface and you could just float around in the sky eating chemicals all day, I mean that sounds like a perfect place for Shabs. Yeah, just floating around above the surface, huffing fumes all day.
Yeah.
Intergalactic, interplanetary dabs, my dude. There you go.
I like
You
this
see
idea.
Shab's head float around like Mr. Mackey's from South Park. Okay, I'm high, guys.
Look at that scene from Rick and Morty with the dragon. It's like, do you partake in volcanic fumes? Will it fuck my brain up? No. I'll do it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. Two Gun says that that's just media hype and it's incorrect. And then
I wouldn't be surprised, but it's a neat.
Spec says they detected phosphine,
Phosphine.
and some people just went to life for an explanation.
Yeah, he says that's right. It rains sulfuric acid. What's the planetoid where it rains molten lead? I wanted to say that was Venus, but I know that it's like it's planet or possibly might be one of Jupiter's moons. I just remember hearing about it. They're like, yeah, there's places in this universe that it rains molten metal.
I remember the sulfuric acid thing.
Well,
I
it
do
rains
remember.
gasoline on Titan, so why not molten lead somewhere?
Mm.
It really rains gasoline?
Taco Bell. Yeah.
Really?
Well,
That's
I'm
weird.
not.
Well-
It's probably not the exact formula of gasoline, but it's hydrocarbons, just like
dang.
it's fuel basically. It will burn.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's gonna be like when we're good enough flinging ourselves around the universe, we're just gonna get bored enough one day. We're just gonna be like, hey, set that fucking thing on fire. What? the moon. Jupiter's got plenty of them. I don't think it's not gonna miss it. Also, how cool would it be to have like a flaming world, huh?
You're like a flaming moon.
Yeah.
You the shit.
That's kind of like the sun, isn't that just like a flaming ball?
No, see, it's not the same. It's not the same.
No.
No.
I
It's gonna be a
just-
flaming moon.
I need to pitch Elon Musk on a new idea.
A giant flaming ball.
No. It's like something we can offer like super depressed people, right? Suicidal people who are just gonna off themselves anyway. Be like, listen,
Bring them into
Don't.
the sun.
we're gonna cryogenically freeze you in like a little capsule. and then we're gonna shoot a bunch of these capsules up into space there, and we're just gonna ping you off in different directions. Do a little radio transponder, see if something picks you up. How's that sound?
That's pretty sick, actually. I like that.
Will I be dead? Effectively, yeah. But I get to be in space and dead. Yeah, until something revives you or you crash into something and really die.
Most likely you'll just fucking get blown up.
I gotta say, normally I'd say this sounds like dragging it out, but yeah, count me in.
I remember being really interested in nuclear weapons as a kid, and I found out that there was at one point discussions of performing a nuclear test on the moon, and that sounds fucking awesome. I think we need to do that for some reason.
Just nuke the moon.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I want to see what happens.
The PR team has a whole bunch of answers, but to be honest with you, it sounded fun.
What do you think of a lot of people take an issue with this idea, but I find it honestly kind of interesting of major companies putting space advertisements up, like big light displays, like Coca-Cola, so that there'd always be a big light that says Coca-Cola in the sky. Permanent. Like it'd be horrifying, but kind of nice in a way. I don't know.
Isn't there a movie where they do that kind of?
It would be huge, though. It would be a huge object.
It would, it would be fucking massive. It would take a lot of time.
I'd love it if a health insurance company's space billboard crashed and killed a bunch of uninsured people.
The Coke billboard.
Well, I mean that's well, fuck. I mean, yeah, actually, yeah, I was an opening line of Fight Club. When deep space exploration ramps up, it'll be the corporations that name everything. You know, like MasterCard Space Station, Planet Starbucks.
Is there a movie that has like giant billboards like that in the atmosphere or something?
I haven't seen it. There probably is though.
Maybe it's an anime I'm thinking.
Well, it sounds like some Blade Runner-ish shit there too. But yeah, I know. But do not, Marshall.
Oh no, it's Antonio
Do not give
Banderas.
them these ideas.
It's a movie about robots taking over and like learning how to fix themselves, and they have these like giant billboard women that like dance over the city buildings.
See, now that's the proper use. That right
there. God, that's the worst thing to think, though. Like, you know, there is that notion that when we get into space, finally, that we'll be able to, like, you know, we're moving on as a society. You know, we're going to better ourselves. It's like, no, we're not. Are you out of your fucking mind? As soon as you let ordinary people up there, oh, it's going to be a shit show. It's like, what did you do? We let Americans into space. Well, they got good astronauts. No. Ordinary ass Americans.
You did what? Shut it down.
Yeah. I don't know why I was actually thinking of
Pimp Chunk's in the chat.
He is.
That mother trucker.
He's telling you guys if you don't want Shab to die, you better tip.
Yeah. If you guys don't want me dead, come on. Let's get some big fat tips.
No, he says
you want
tip,
him dead.
He says to tip if you want him dead. That's what he said.
No,
look,
I read it wrong. No. Yeah. So if you don't want me to die, guys, come on, guys.
Yeah,
or alternately, if you do want him to die, like, take your pick. Whatever's clever, whatever works for you here.
If you really wanted to.
Mm-hmm. If you feel like it, it's all. Oh, they struck my last video. That's fine. Go inside about. Oh yeah, the big old hyperloop thing. That sounds dumb.
It never didn't it.
What's hyperloop?
Stop? Didn't it? Didn't they quit working on that stupid thing?
Well, what is hyperloop?
I didn't actually like. I saw that it was going off, and then like I knew it happened also because I was on YouTube and I saw Thunderfoot's video came up, said hyperloop busted.
Yeah, because well, basically the premise is they put a train through a tunnel, which sounds a lot like a subway, but they evacuate the tunnel of all air, so there's no air resistance, so the train is more efficient. And they bury the tunnel through the mountains so that it's a straight shot between like Los Angeles and San Francisco, for example. And they just, because that's pretty hilly country from what I understand, from what I remember. it's not easy. So they want to put it in a mountain and do this thing, but they want to use like a maglev, all this fancy technology in there, right? And like, how do you keep people alive at those speeds? If it takes you 10 minutes or 20 minutes to get from Los Angeles to San Francisco, how fast are you have to go to get there that fast? And it's a ridiculous number. And any accident on that train, no matter how insignificant, is going to basically obliterate it at those speeds. So,
Yeah.
Here's a fun transport question, though. Who amongst you would willingly do, like, if they developed matter transporters, like in Star Trek, right? Where basically, yes, they break you down to your very, like, down to, like, I think an atomic level, and then shoot you through an information beam of some kind to another spot, and then reassemble you there. I don't know.
I don't know.
I wouldn't. No, probably not.
no.
Shabs is
I don't know.
Just like no, if it can get me there, if it's on this same planet, like I'll just take. I'll be like McCoy, Dr. McCoy from Star Trek. Just don't like the transporters. Fuck that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I think anybody's gonna act like that's a new weird technology. I mean, when cell phones started being used and stuff, I'm sure there's plenty of people that are like, "Oh, this is weird," you know, just like lots of other things.
There's
like
a bit of
new
a
technology.
difference, though,
But you're
between,
being fucking
Talk-
disassembled.
yeah, talking on the phone and having your atoms.
Yeah, but if there was like if everybody around you was using it, and it was just a normal thing for everybody to use it, I think that you'd be using it just like everyone else. That's what I'd probably be doing.
Well, there's that classic question like cloning, right? You know, people ask like, oh, if you could like make a clone and upload your consciousness into it, is it still going to be you, or is it going to be a different person
I don't know.
you know, in your body? Well, then you got to wonder. It's like, okay, if they're going to break all your molecules and atoms apart and shit,
Yeah.
and then just scatter them and then just reassemble them, is it still the same person?
That was my
I
main
have trouble with this question.
How do you know
wake
they
up,
didn't
I'm like,
lose one of them?
am I the same person I was when I went to sleep, or do I just think I am?
Yeah.
You're not even the same person from moment to moment.
Exactly. Fuck that guy who showed up here earlier.
Yeah.
Me, I would have been on time. But his
I can't do this today. I can't have this kind of crisis. All right. Let's have some other kind of crisis.
like it helps if you like don't give a shit. And it's like, fuck me, I don't care. You know what?
I
When you
think
break
I would
me into
try
pieces,
it.
don't bother putting me back together.
I would probably try it just for that reason. Like, fuck it. If it's gonna kill me, it's gonna kill me. Because we do that with cars every day. Think about it. Cars, especially on the highway, tend to have bad outcomes when they get in accidents. They really do.
Oh yeah, I ride a motorcycle, so I can't really push back against that.
Right. Even motorcycles, it's even like you have to drive for everybody on the road, not just yourself
everyone.
at that point. You have to be
Everyone's
looking
a
out.
serial killer. Everyone's a mass murderer who's gonna mow you down.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're not looking for your ass, basically.
Almost to the contrary, like when me and my grandfather used to ride bikes, like just from state to state, and people would do like weird shit, like they just some primal thing would happen in their brains when they see a motorcycle, and they're like, I gotta fucking be faster than this person, even though I'm in a minivan. So like, we'd be going, I don't know, like 90 or something. You'd see like fucking mom vans driving past us because they just something happens. I feel like they have to outrun you. I don't know what it is.
I kind of
So
luck out in New Hampshire because we've got the highest number of riders per capita here. And, well, I noticed it's funny because like it's the one time that those douchebags with like the tribal tats and the fucking chin strap goatee and the giant truck with dualies and a monster logo on the side. Well, because most of them get, you know, usually like Harley Street Glides or whatever else was popular on Sons of Anarchy. They buy those, so they ride on the weekends. And I've noticed that like you can tell if they're riders because like if they're in front of you or behind you, they'll like either pull ahead or drop back just to make sure you've got that gap. But yeah, when you're riding, it's like, you know, the healthy fucking perspective to take is, you keep your head on a swivel and you realize like all it takes is one asshole checking a fucking text message, and you're done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it's still so much fun.
My grandfather was at a stoplight, and he had been there for a minute, and the car next to he decided to move over for some reason because he wanted to turn, and then the car next to him from the spot he was just at, somebody just plowed right the fuck into it because they were looking at their phone. If he had stayed there, he would have been fucking dead.
Yeah, I actually got my bike. When I got it real cheap because this guy bought it for like $1,500 for his wife, actually, because he has a Harley and he got this Virago for his wife to ride on. And in the early part of the season, there's like fucking like 6 or 7 just smack dead fatalities. And like,
shit.
Yeah, and so she got scared and she's like, no, I don't want them. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take it for like $900. He's like, well, it's worth a lot more. I'm like, I don't have any more. All right, then here you go.
Fuck it.
That's awesome.
That's the best negotiating tactic I ever found. Because once we reach my limit, I literally can't pay them anymore. So
Yeah.
they take my money or negotiation is over. Like, well, do you like to finance something? No. Do I look like a guy who knows how to do things like that? You're saying, do I want to give more money to a bank so that they can then take the motorcycle when my income drops, as it inevitably will? No. I'm not buying a motorcycle to give to a bank as a gift. Every Harley. I don't know. That's a bit much, MX. But I do think Harley riders can be
A tad pretentious.
a little bit, yeah. It's like if you can afford a brand new Electra Glide and $1,200 worth of branded leathers, like what are you trying to say here? Meanwhile, like my Virago.
Crisis thing.
Well, my Virago, like I got an 1100 Virago, right? That thing can smoke nearly any Harley off the line. Like any Harley that hasn't been updated, it'll smoke it right off the line. And they're cheaper bikes and they're way more reliable and easier to work on because they're not all proprietary everythings. It's just, ordinary metric measurements for Japanese crap. And it's like, oh, but I like the sound. It's like, get a V. Yeah, see, beard shower. Yeah, it's a V twin. Usually, mine came with aftermarket pipes on it, so it sounds as ballsy as any Harley on the road. And I can redline it without having to blow up.
The Virago is a beautiful bike. It really is.
It reminds me,
I had
yesterday.
a friend who had a Virago. His father had a Virago, and I loved that motorcycle.
Yeah, it's a poor man's Harley.
Huh. I still don't know what it is.
Yeah.
So yesterday I saw a truck, and it was one of those big trucks with the big tires and the big exhaust on the back, but they had like welded together a box, like a weird not square box, and put that on the end of the muffler.
Oh, just to make it louder?
I've never seen anything like that. And I grew up in a very hick farm town with lots of big lifted trucks.
Well, I love living in a city and seeing like big lifted trucks with like dualies in the back. It's like, why the fuck do you have that? Like, I know you don't have a farm, dickhead. You live in a studio apartment.
That's why I couldn't understand this like box that they welded onto the end of their muffler.
Beard shower. Now, just to address what Beard shower is saying, mine actually doesn't have gear indicator lights. It's an 88, so like I've got a neutral light and that's it. But honestly, you should know what you're doing. But yeah, this is like the dual, like the giant dualies like that. I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake! I literally know a guy who I worked for him. He's actually the owner of that construction company that I did not last long with. His truck has a giant Monster Energy logo on both sides, and one of the visor, one of the windshield decals too, and his license plate, because everyone in New Hampshire needs a fucking personalized license plate, says G-O-D. Ooh, you're fucking clever, bruh. I bet you get all the Stacy's, don't you? And all the child support claims and divorce settlements that come with being a douchebag. Now, you could like Monster, but I mean, it's like, there is a certain stereotype and cliche that's attached to it, to the point where in Derry, New Hampshire, which used to be one of the trashiest towns in the area, there is a branded Monster Energy gas station.
What?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't. That's
Is
the
there
only
like
one
a
I've
big
ever
glowing
seen.
monster sign outside? Like,
Yep.
That'd
Big
be
giant
funny.
M and says Monster below. And then
It'd be
it's
funny if you go in and the whole thing's just filled with Monster drinks, the whole fucking thing from one end to the other.
Yeah, and you go to gas up and you get like, it's Monster coming out of the...
yeah, you put Monster in your car.
Yeah, is this Brondo we're talking about?
Some Monster oil for your car?
Yeah, it's like, isn't that syrupy kind of sugary taurine shit gonna fuck up my engine? You mechanic?
oh.
Well, no. Well, then shut the fuck up. It's cheap gasoline.
That's
Oh,
great.
that's so awful. That's hilarious, but awful. Or there just has like an option to pump out it and you can get real gasoline. But there's a Monster pump at the gas station. Big pump thing.
That'd be pretty dumb if they didn't have every kind of monster there.
No way.
Oh,
Like,
at the
here's our
shop.
Monster gas station. We only have one flavor of Monster, though. Sorry.
Well, it's like you gotta remember, like, these shittier shops and shit. Like the bodega next to my store where I get like my beer and cigarettes. I don't buy dairy products there because they're almost always expired. But there's a huge glass case full of brand new crack pipes and Shore Boy. And so, I bought a crack pipe because I support local business. And then I bought some crack because, again, I support local business.
Totally makes sense.
But yeah, it's one of these things. Like, I've even chatted with the guy who owns it, and I'm like, "You're really selling your demographic here, huh?" It's like a huge case full of Monster, half like a huge case full of just like shitty domestic beer and like Natty Daddies. I'll go in there, half the time I see it, it's like there's some dude in like a fucking 90s era windbreaker. He got it like Vincent de Paul, and he's going back and forth between the counter stacking up these high gravity Natty Daddy tall boys and shit, just like a whole little flock of them. Like, when you get a case of regular beer, can I get 2 packs of L&M menthols, please? All right.
So gross.
I guess we know our demographic, don't we, Mr. Shopkeeper?
It's so gross.
Well, he keeps
My
it very
ex's
clean.
mom used to drink Natty Daddies all the time.
Oh, we don't even have brown bagging here, so like that you can't drink in the street. But you walk up and down downtown, you just find crushed Natty Daddy cans. And it's funny too, because you can tell when an unfortunate pregnancy is about to unfold, because you'll find like a pile of Natty Daddy cans and then a smaller pile of White Claws. Like, damn, someone's gonna have themselves a ward of the state.
That's hilarious.
Well,
I don't think I've ever drank one of those yet.
It's like I've said for a while. I stand by any correlation to a rise in birth rates in this town is going to be directly correlated to half-off nights and track lighting.
White Claw is just like alcoholic seltzer, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's garbage too. Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's as
in the
basic
case
a
next
drink
to
as it
that
gets.
other case at the same gas station too.
Mm-hmm.
They don't sell liquor at gas stations in Connecticut.
They don't sell
beer?
liquor in Florida, but they have beer.
Or beer.
Oh.
You
Yeah, they
gotta
sell
go
beer.
to the package store.
Oh,
It's like
that's
that in
kinda
Canada, too.
Philadelphia.
You can get beer. No, that's not. You can get beer at the grocery store, but that's it.
Yeah. Same thing up here. It's all state-owned liquor stores here, so you can get wine and beer, and like your White Claw garbage at most any store. And then you got to go to the state, to get your liquor. And then you go across the border to Massachusetts, and you just go to the grocery store, and they're like, all the booze you want is here. Don't worry about it. That's one of the things I miss about New Orleans, too. You could just, like, walk into, like, a Shell station. And, like, I'd walk to a Shell station, get a pack of smokes, and I'd just be like, fuck, give me one of them flasks of Jameson, too. It's just like, and they let you drink in the street, so just take it and just sort of walk back home in the nice Louisiana air, sipping down whiskey in public, as God intended.
Whoa, the fuck is that?
Purple.
It's like a little kid show thingy.
Money.
Oh, thank you, PT.
Thank you, PT Spam. What a sweetie pie.
Dot, if you approve of it, I will try it. Just because I like your drawings, so I will try a White Claw for the sexy porn art that Dot draws.
Don't be surprised if you throw up.
I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna drink a 12-pack of the fucking thing.
No, well, last time I just tried one and I threw it up pretty quick.
Okay.
All foam.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will.
Yeah.
I will go slow.
No, you'll probably take a sip and you'll be like, why the fuck? Why the fuck?
I'll let you know. I'll go get one tonight and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's like drinking seltzer water that tastes slightly worse somehow.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I like carbonated water, so I actually might like that if that's.
Do you like it mixed, or do you just like straight seltzer water? Because straight seltzer water tastes nasty to me.
Well, my friend Nikki's been doing a thing. She'll pour like a shot of vodka or a couple shots of vodka, and then just a whole White Claw into a cup. So it's like a fizzy vodka drink. Which I actually recall. No, yeah, I was right. On my birthday, like I went out to smoke a cigarette, and my neighbors were coming up to pester me about happy birthday, and they brought me this whole coffee cup just full of that vodka garbage she makes. And oh yeah, that started my day off right.
Yeah. Sure. I usually put fruit in it, so I think I'll be all right.
Well, that's one of the things I miss. It is one of the things I do miss about beer and liquor reviewing. Aside from like all of the liquor and getting paid for drinking it, but shit, they'd send like I'd have companies like sending me just like 2 or 3 bottles of their different vodkas with like a shitload of recipes for cocktails, and then I just say fuck that and I just make my own.
Yeah.
Like, what do I have in my fridge? Blueberries. Fuck. Let's muddle up some blueberries. Put some mint in there. Toss in some vodka. Fuck, it's only like 1 in the afternoon and I'm already like ready to go. I was fucking shot.
This is what the morning wood does to people. We have that effect on people.
Yeah. Well,
do you have a show coming up soon?
Tonight, yeah. I'm gonna do a stream tonight to make up for the one I couldn't do last night, and then another one on Wednesday. Thursday is going to be interesting because I'll be interviewing someone again. I'm going to be interviewing a Brigitte Johnsdottir. Okay. She was a member of Parliament in Iceland.
Ooh.
She founded the Pirate Party, which is sort of like a semi-anarchistic sort of thing.
There's a pirate party.
I believe she either worked with or co-founded WikiLeaks, and actually, like, so the Bradley Manning video that got out that got him sent to jail there, like she was the one who published it, and so that should be an interesting conversation about privacy and things like that.
That'll be fun. Everyone's gonna have to look out for that to watch.
Yeah, just go and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. There's plenty of room. In the last 30 days, 260 people have decided not to. So you can come on and make up for those numbers.
Yeah, go on over. Sub to Nick. Watch the fun pirate lady. I want to watch a pirate lady.
Watch the pirate lady.
That's what I'm going to watch tonight. I don't know about y'all, but
Well, it's
I'm gonna watch
Thursday.
Pirate Lady.
That'll
Or
be Thursday. Tonight will just be casual making fun of the news kind of thing.
Well, that's fun too. Marshall, when's your new stuff coming out?
Looking like January. I have 2 videos coming out. They're going to be really gross, and they're probably going to get kicked off of YouTube. So look forward to that.
That's awesome. What about you, Shabby? Are you streaming tonight?
Yeah, I'm gonna stream in a little bit. I'll definitely got to keep growing the channel, the new channel. But yeah, Nick, I'm dealing with the same thing on my main channel. I've been losing subs on there for so long since YouTube, YouTube's, I don't know, notifications are all fucked up with that channel and shit. That's why I'm trying to grow a new channel. Raisin Girl asked if I'm into anime. I'm not really, but I'm not, I'm cool with watching anime. I'm not
as opposed to being in one.
Well, I could be in one, but no, I'm just.
I'm saying I like listening to music. It's like as opposed to playing it. Well, I can't, dumbass. That's why I listen to it.
I'm just tired. I worded it weird, but I'm just not some big anime fan. But I'm cool with watching some.
Yeah, and under no circumstances should anyone screenshot Shab and then make him like some kawaii cat girl or something right now.
You would actually probably love that.
Don't even think about it. Just the big anime eyes and little cat ears. It's just,
Make him
there
a
you
kitty,
go.
guys. Make him a kitty.
Yeah, make me ears.
I love it. All right, guys. We shall see you tomorrow. Balls, do you have anything going on?
No, I mean tonight I do have NaNoWriMo tonight over on Atheist or Vegan Atheist Squirrel's channel. That's the National Amateur Write-In Month. So 50,000 words in a month, trying to write a novel. Kind of fun.
Yeah, that's cool. All right, guys. We shall see you tomorrow. Thank you for liking, sharing, tipping. Be safe, wash your hands, and be kind to each other. Kill that hit button.